Here we are. It's Tuesday. It's the end of July. It was just San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh no,
And
I can't believe it's August now. We have like
it's
less than half a year left.
is it that's crazy.
Ugh.
And how can time slow down again? Like you remember when time used to be
Yeah.
slow, or is time even a thing anymore?
I don't think it's a thing anymore. I think we're just I think we're just alive right now.
I think we're just alive. Works for me.
Yeah.
But I'm here today with the incredible Soo Lee, who is well, maybe not technically in charge, but she is the creator of our newest graphic novel based on the classic film, The Wizard of Oz. And you've done so much with us already as well. Like the one that's popping in my head right now is mainly Maleficent, which got so many good reviews. Like when I was
Oh,
sharing with our Disney influencers, like
yeah.
so many people love Maleficent. Maleficent's their favorite character, and they really were in love with what you do with the artwork and the stories. So you got some great reviews from Maleficent. I hope you know that.
Oh no, thank you so much. That's really kind and also great to hear. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And yeah, today we're just talking about The Wizard of Oz, mainly the new graphic novel, and we are planning to launch the Kickstarter very soon. It was originally going to be this week, but I think we're just wrapping up some final details. But we are launching very soon. I did put the sign up page in the info below the video. If you're watching on YouTube, it is in the info below. But I think the first easy question, I hope, is how big, like, how familiar are you? Oh my gosh, how familiar were you with The Wizard of Oz? I mean, were you a casual fan or a super fan before this project came along?
Yeah, no, I've always been a fan of Wizard of Oz. I mean, like when I was a kid in elementary school, we sang, Over the Rainbow, stuff like that, right? So it's like
Mhm.
a cultural icon. I've always known about it. I watched the movies. And then I gotta say, after working on the book or while working on the book, I rewatched the movie again and did a lot more research. And I
Mhm.
appreciated it even more, especially as an adult. It's things that I didn't pick up when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Um, and I've really learned or like I've really developed to love it. Like I really liked it, but now I really love it, if that makes sense.
What is it about it that what do you think makes it so timeless?
Well, I think well, first of all, the cinematography and the way the movie looks is just it's just incredible for its time, but also looks incredible now. Like I don't
Mhm.
think there's a movie that even touches the vibrancy of the colors. Like and without any kind of well, there was like enhancements, right? But any
Mhm.
kind of technicolor, enhancements and I think it's so incredibly unique in that sense. Um and it's and also like, politically it's still very relevant, right? Like everything that the Wizard of Oz talks about or touches upon can relate to every I'm sorry, I lost my voice, so every time I talk a little bit more, it just
It's
becomes
all good.
squeakier. So I apologize. That's what San Diego does to you. And then so every generation I feel like can relate to Dorothy and the story I told my friends this because we were talking about Wizard of Oz on like a little trip we had. It was like random. And I was like, Wizard of Oz is kind of like the American version of Journey to the West. It's so relevant. It's like the
Mhm.
Odyssey, and it's just like it'll never get old. It'll always stay relevant to every time period to and anyone in the world I think can relate to what's going on. Even though you're not a little girl from Kansas,
Mhm.
I feel like you know exactly what that feels like to be somewhere you don't know and to be somewhere you don't know and to feel like you aren't being seen, and I think anyone can relate to that.
Absolutely. Would you argue it's probably the most influential film just ever, period?
Oh, yeah, right? I
1939?
feel like that's the American Odyssey, right? Like, every every story is like, a Greek myth. I feel
Mhm.
like The Wizard of Oz is a version of our Greek myth, if that makes sense. You can just kind of
Mhm.
spin off of that kind of story over and over again, and you can keep it interesting if you do it right, I think.
Yeah. Like you said, it's really it's the main American fairy tale. So many fairy
Oh
tales are
yes.
from Europe, but this one was actually created here in America, and it's again it's a series. Like I think we're so familiar with the original film and the original first story, and so but we sometimes forget that there's a whole like 15 series book that the author wrote. Like, were you familiar with the books at all,
I've
or
only
just
read the
the
first
movie?
book, like, when I was, younger,
Hmm.
so it's not anything that I have refreshed in my mind, plus, when I worked on the book, Warner Brothers told me not to even touch those, so I was like,
Okay,
"Okay, I will pretend it doesn't even exist right now." So I need to go back to it, but I haven't in a long time.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because I was going to ask like because there are original sketches for the characters that are related to the original book series stuff
Yes.
like, but you weren't allowed to look at them. You were it was
Mhm.
just the movie you had to focus
Yeah.
on. Okay. So if you only had to work on the movie, how did that? I guess how did that influence like how you adapt to your art? Like how do you mix something that's already established with your own style?
Yeah,
How do you mix it?
um I mean, the movie's almost perfect, I would say. Like, it's almost perfect and, like, visually perfect, just story-wise perfect, but so the story, I added things in the script that originally didn't get made into the movie, so I added some of
Hmm.
those aspects in, which is also in the book as well, so if you've read the book, you'll be familiar with some of the things that I added into it, and for art, I thought, well, the colors have to be vibrant. So I wanted it to give like a watercolor kind of like a vibe to everything and keep
Hmm.
as vibrant as possible. And everything is just like a pop of color.
Hmm.
Like from even with Kansas, I made sure it was the right types of brown and monotone color. And then like once she hits, Oz or that world, it's just like boom, she's like stepping into paint. So I wanted to give that feel, but some of the cinematography, for instance, in the movie is very of the times. It's like very
Hmm.
like it's kind of like how we're talking to each other. It's just very one to one, straightforward, first
Hmm.
person kind of thing. And it's a lot of like team shots. And it's impossible to draw like 10 characters in one panel every time. So I had to take artistic liberty and, okay, well, Dorothy's talking, even though they're all in the background. I need to just hone in on Dorothy, and it's more dramatic that way. And so I did stuff like that, maybe changing some angles or focusing on different shots. So those are the things that they allowed me to do, and they didn't even bat an eye for that. So that was cool.
You talked with my pal Travis from Comics with Bueller recently, and I love when
Yes.
he told me. I love when he talked about your conversation, and he told me that like he when the graphic novel comes out, he wants to introduce it to his young grandson. It's like, and this is a way for kids to be introduced to the Wizard of Oz. Like if they don't watch the movie right away, maybe it's the graphic novel. How does that make you feel? That
I'm very
way.
hopeful that like that makes me scared. Also, like, who do I think I am to be able to do that kind of thing? But I feel really honored and privileged that that could be a possibility, and that's all I really want. I'm not
Mhm.
reinventing the wheel. I just want people, if you haven't seen the movie and you're, like, resigned to never watching the movie, mistake number
Mhm.
1, right? You should always see the
Right.
movie. It's actually really worth it. I cried rewatching it. Like, there are certain scenes that I'll just, like, remember and start tearing up? So it's like,
Mhm.
you need to watch it. It really is an experience. And so since I'm not reinventing the wheel, I'm just adding another level of culture for the Wizard of Oz to be as accessible to everyone as possible. Like,
Mhm.
again, the younger generation who, may not want to watch a movie right now that's from the 40s or the 30s, right? So they want to, and if comic books are accessible, I want them to pick it up, read it. Hopefully they like it. And it is, as true and, well, not true, but as loyal and loyal to the vibe of the entire story
Mhm.
as possible for the movie, so that when they are ready, they can watch the movie. And even with people that, who are my age and who've never seen Wizard of Oz, and they like comic books more. Okay, pick up the
Mhm.
graphic novel, give it a chance, and then maybe I want to change your mind so that this is where this is the gateway drug for Wizard of Oz.
Mhm.
I hope that's the case, you know?
Mhm. Fan, especially of the film my whole life. So just seeing anything new coming from it, it's interesting to look at whether it's the graphic novel or the Wicked movies coming out. It's something,
Mhm.
and like we said earlier, it's a timeless story that like whatever something comes out that's related to it. Oh, what is it? Like what we're naturally drawn to it.
I think it's just everything. It's just like the greatest fantasy, like, right? Like,
Mhm.
you wanna escape your mundane life and go
Mhm.
somewhere completely, impossible, and going through these, trials, to find yourself. That's basically what the story is about, right? It's like figuring out who
Mhm.
you are and where you wanna be in life, and what kind of person you wanna become, and, ultimately, everyone finds out who they are, right? And so it's like,
Mhm.
we do live that life. It just may not be in the way that it's, portrayed in the movie, but
Mhm.
it's still a version of that, right? And so I think it's just like the most amplified version of what you wish you could do. And I think it's just
Mhm.
exciting. Even though Dorothy's she's like a 9-year-old girl or something like 9 or
9 or
11 or
12.
something. Yeah,
What
I
she
in the
goes doing.
movie, I think she's a little different age to than in the book, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, and so, even though she's a little girl, you still know what she's going through, like,
Mhm.
I'm 36 and I'm like, "Oh my god." Yeah, right? I'm just like, "She's braver than I am," right? In some of these
Mhm.
aspects, and so it's like, I think that's what keeps you hooked. You're just like living a life through this girl's eyes, but not even her.
Mhm.
It's just like everyone, the team, right? The Tin Man, Scarecrow, and
Mhm.
um, the Cowardly Lion, right? So it's like everyone. You've become a part of them all, and I think
Mhm.
that's the most like interesting thing.
When working on the adaptation, like, was there a specific do you have a favorite part that you liked adapting the most? A favorite character you liked drawing the most? What was the process like?
Um, I did love, coloring the world a lot because I wanted to make sure it was, like, just not just as good, but, like, good enough to, like,
Mhm.
because the movie's pretty great. But also, Glinda's pretty fun to draw. She's just, like, in this
I can imagine.
giant ball gown, I gave her, kind of out there makeup. It's just, like, a lot more bigger,
Mhm.
big hair, a crown. I mean, it's just who doesn't love that, right? So she's just like Barbie doll amplified times 100 with glitter. So I
Mhm.
was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go a little crazy with her." And I did, and I think she came out great, and The Wicked Witch is completely the opposite in terms of style, and I think there's a scene where I did them side by side a lot, so I hope that
Mhm.
translates a lot. It's like bubblegum and goth, right? But, The Wicked Witch also has, like, such a unique feature, and the original actress is, like she's just incredible. She's just so
Mhm.
interesting to look at, and I love her, like, entire, like, vibe. So I figured, "Okay, I can't draw everyone to their likeness, so what's the next best thing to keep it interesting?"
Mhm.
So those 2 were the most, interesting things to draw, I think.
What would you say was the trickiest part of adapting the story?
What makes the cut, right? Because it's
Mhm.
like 110 pages of, actual story and stuff, so it's like what is important to the story, what's not important to the story, and how these panels should look. Um, the ruby slippers are important, so that has to be there. Stuff like that. Just making sure that when you read the book and if you're like a loyal fan, okay, you can imagine that scene. But if I cut out a scene, it's because it just didn't. I had to like compress or compartmentalize like the story, you know, and within a chapter.
Uh, hmm. Since you said drawing Glinda and the Wicked Witch from, would you say like they were more their favorite characters from the movie? Was that is that why that was like they were the cool ones to draw?
I think they're just visually super interesting, you know.
Mhm.
Everything is just like even the witch's castle, right? We only get a glimpse of what it is because it's not like a full like you know,
Mhm.
if it was made now, like with CGI and everything, you would see an entire background and whatever, but you only see bits and pieces of rooms everywhere within the movie because
Mhm.
that it was just of the times and the constraints they had in the studio,
Mhm.
right? So I figured like, you know, the Wicked Witch, her, you know, where she had like the crystal ball, that room area, you know, with the big open windows is just kind of like an insane place to be, you know, like in the mountains, not very unlike Maleficent. So I was like, okay, no, I've kind of like drawn some stuff like this before. So I kind of
Mhm.
used that in my head. And even though in the movie it's just like muted and dark and big shadows, I was like, I think this also deserves a pop of color that fits, you know, fits her vibe, right?
Mhm.
I don't want to say Elphaba because, like, you know, Wicked Witch, we don't call her Elphaba, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So that's why I keep saying Wicked Witch. I do know her name. So you know, the witch is like lair. I thought deserved also some kind of personality too. So
Mhm.
I like so those were very, you know, important to me.
Now that I'm thinking about the movie more, like the the color red specifically is really plays a lot of roles in the movie, and I'm sure in your book. I mean, the ruby slippers, the poppy flowers are red. When you're talking about the witch's lair, like the things that stick out to me is the crystal ball when it's glowing, or the hourglass has red in it. So it's red's a powerful color in Oz.
Yeah, I
It
think
really
it's
is.
it's just like a well, also, you know, because you know, the entire thing revolves around being around Oz, which is green. I guess that you know, life, you know, red is danger, right? I'm assuming that's what those, you know, the symbolism is for that, and it's just like great contrast. It's just visually very good to look at, you know.
Mhm. I guess like if we look at the color red, like again, kind of symbolizing some kind of power. The green, like
Yeah,
green, traditionally is kind of royal, kind of elegance. This, and that's essentially what the Emerald City is. It's this dream place where everything's green. And I love one of the elements I loved in the original story is that it's so bright you have to wear glasses.
yeah. I mean, also it's interesting because the Wicked Witch is also green. So
Hmm.
what does that mean? I don't
Right,
know.
and another good thing to bring up, like Disney movies, green's more with the villains, like Maleficent's a lot like even though she's mainly black and purple, she's like her powers are represented by green, like green
Right.
flames and fire. So like isn't that's cool how versatile colors can be. Like they can represent what you need them to represent, really.
Definitely. Yes.
So so I guess when it comes to Wizard of Oz, I guess green's both essentially. I guess especially when you go into Wicked, where we know Elphaba's not so wicked.
Right, right.
I'm,
And then
I'm
this
sure
is a
can
time.
explain. I'm sure there are other people who can explain it a lot better than I can.
Yes, for sure, but it's just like, it is interesting because it's like in Wizard of Oz, she just is who she is. We don't
Hmm.
know or why, it's just I mean, you know, perhaps she was hurt or something, but in this one,
Hmm.
she's just like well, actually, rewatching the movie, I was like, "Is she that wrong? Somebody killed her sister, right?" Like, she's just like, "Hey, I need revenge." I have a little like funny theory because it's like Glinda's kind of a you know, pot stir because in the movie
Hmm.
she's like, "Oh, look, your sister's shoes, right?" And and
Hmm.
then you know the witch is like, "Okay, well that belongs to me, right? Like you got to give it to me." And then she just gives it to Dorothy, and the entire time she's just like egging, you know, egging the witch on, like, "Oh, try to get the shoes, you can't do it," you know. And it's just like,
Hmm.
it's so it's kind of like, okay, I kind of understand why she's so mad. It's like this is
Mhm.
her, this belongs to her, and everyone's like, nah, yeah, I don't care about your feelings, and she's just like seeking revenge. I mean, probably in the wrong way, but I I, I gotta say, I don't really blame her for being that upset.
I guess as a movie nerd, I'm like, I guess I think I always assumed that the shoes are just they have a mind of their own because I didn't think I
No,
see
I
like
don't.
they just appear on Dorothy. Like Glinda, like I didn't think Glinda made it happen. They just the shoes just went to Dorothy.
No,
She's like,
if
here they are,
I
here they'll
think
stay, and you can't give them to
maybe
her because they're very powerful. And
maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but I'm pretty sure Glinda puts them on Dorothy's feet
oh,
with her magic power.
I probably need to rewatch it again too. But
Maybe I
but
do too. So
but
I'm
but
sure a
now
fan will know.
yeah, if anyone out there, please help us figure this out. But now he got me thinking, isn't there a scene like Dorothy's like, fine, you can take the shoes, just give me Toto, and then
And
she
then it
tries to
won't
get
let
him, but then
her
they
because yeah, because now it's like I think there maybe just be like a force field or something like that. It's just like protected. Um, so I'm just like, well, that's unfortunate. And it's not even it's not even her fault. Dorothy's like, I don't even want these anymore.
Mhm. Drew Moss
Oh,
says
hi,
hi. Hey,
Drew.
Drew.
Hi. Hope
I love
you're
how
well.
so his comment: green can be an anti-hero because it's a secondary color or villain that has justification or some kind of righteousness, kind of like the
True.
Hulk, purple. That's
I
so
mean, like, I
interesting.
guess I guess in Wicked, Emerald City's not as good as it is, right? So like we find that out too. But again,
Hmm.
separated from the movie, right? From this version of Oz. So,
Hmm.
but yes, for sure.
But what you were saying, like, she has justified feelings. There you go. There you go.
Maybe it's just me, but someone stole my belongings, I'd also be very angry too.
Yeah, I would be too. Like, isn't I love this. Like, there's so many different theories, different takes on the story. Like, and we can all every one of them can be right.
Yeah, and I think this
I
is
love that.
the greatest, lore, this is the reason why I think people are so attracted to the stories because of all the lore that we haven't figured out yet, you know?
Hmm.
And everyone's interpretation of the lore.
Hmm. Really, really cool. Um, I think I know all I had left is a little bit more about the Kickstarter. From what we definitely know so far, I know all you're gonna have a paperback or hardcover, and there's gonna be signed editions as well, I believe.
Yes.
And not just your covers. We're also gonna have cool covers from Alex Ross and Jay
Yes, it's
Lee.
gorgeous.
Hmm.
I mean, Jay Lee's is so great too. Jay Lee's a friend of mine as well, so it's just like, oh, of course. They all look so good. All the covers look good.
So it's something we can tell people so far is that they're gonna get to have their pick about like which cover they want, if they want a signed edition or a hardcover. And I wonder if someone out there is gonna try to get like all of them.
I hope so.
That that's a cool
It's a great
collection.
collector's edition. Yeah, that's true. It would look really wonderful.
Because I think the third one's Eric Shanower. I hope I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, I think it's Shanauer.
So you, Eric, Jay, Alex. That's a killer set right there.
I think so. Oh,
All
hi,
right, well,
Travis.
hi Travis.
Good to
Thank you
see
for
you
watching.
again.
Again, I'm really grateful that you two also got to talk earlier. And I don't Travis, let me know if your video's up yet, because I know you guys pre-record and we usually do this. We usually do this live. But I think he was at least going to post it once the campaign was officially live,
Got it.
which hopefully is like around next week. I really hope
Yes,
so.
me
But
too.
we will let everybody know.
Yes, for sure.
And another reminder, again, in the info below is the sign up page. So that will definitely let you know when the campaign is officially launched.
Yes, please. Oh, I enjoyed our conversation too. Thank you so much, Travis. Hope you're well.
Travis, I hope it was a nice birthday party. I hope you said hi to baby Leo for all of us. and then he's going to be on his big hike soon, like, for the entire month of August.
Oh,
So it's going to be a little bit until we can talk again. But I hope you stay safe, and it's good. So if anyone else out there has a last minute question for Sue, put it in now. But I know that was all I had. So I really want to thank you for sitting with me today and talking about the novel. And I really am so excited for it.
I'm actually really excited for it too. Again, this isn't anything brand new that I'm doing. I'm just adding another extra layer of obtainable I, I'm making it a little bit more accessible for you to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the fantasy of, Wizard of Oz. So I hope you give it a chance, and if you're a fan, I hope you pick it up. And if you have friends and family who are, reserved or are fans of, Wizard of Oz, I hope you tell everyone about it as well. Yeah, I'm so excited and honored that I got to, be a part of this. This is kind of like it's it's unreal that I got to actually work on this and work on the property. It's my little love letter.
Aw, I love that. So thank you again, Sue, so much. Was there anything else you wanted to plug before we sign off? Anything coming
Yeah,
out?
so I mean, Wizard of Oz coming out,
Right.
definitely. Follow me on Instagram if you need also information on it as well. It's Soo Lee Draws at Instagram. I have a Star Wars Tales of the Nightlander coming out in around Halloween, I think, and I have volume 3 of Carmilla as well coming out around October as well.
Awesome. Thank you again to Sue. Thank you to everyone for watching, and hope you guys check out the campaign. Like, again, sign up now for the notifications, and we're going to launch soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Hope everybody has a great day. And that's all for now.